Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm Chandana, studying Electronics and Communication Engineering in SVCE Bangalore. Subject Introduction to Civil Engineering, topic Solid Waste Management of a City. So here are the contents: solid waste, category of waste, source of solid waste, effects of poor solid waste management, and methods of solid waste management and identification of landfill sites. First of all, what is mean by solid waste? So when we define about the state of a solid waste, it is solid and it is non-liquid and non-soluble material, and it contains complex material as well as hazardous substances. And solid waste includes a garbage and demolition products and sewage treatment residue and dead animals manure and etc. And steps included in solid waste management are storage, collection, transport and handling, recycling and disposal and monitoring of waste material. So here is a waste management concept of 3R system. The first one is reduce, reuse and recycle. So before throwing any waste in the bin, think if the waste that can be recycled or not, and try to recycle the waste as much as possible. So for example, the soft drinks bottles that can be used as pencil stands, and reduce use durable goods such as metal plates and the spoons and cotton napkins etc. So here is the diagrammatic explanation for the process of flow of solid waste management. First of all, we have to collect the waste, the collection and the transportation and the recovery and the processing and then disposal. Directly we should not dispose the waste. We have to follow these many steps and we have to dispose the waste. So here is the another diagrammatic explanation for the solid waste management and category of waste. The first one is organic waste. The organic waste is nothing but what and all the waste generated from household things like residential, kitchen waste, waste from food preparation and vegetable flours, fruits, etc. And combustible or paper, wood, and so on things. Non-combustible as metal, tins, cans, bottles, stones, and toxic waste, old medicine, paints, chemicals, bulbs, spray, fertilizer, pesticides, and so on. Recyclable things or paper and glass, metal, plastics, ashes or dust. When we burn something, we will get a residue of ashes or dust. So that is the meaning of ashes or dust. That is from fire and used for cooking. And construction waste, so from the construction waste we are getting broken concrete and hazardous waste, oil, battery acid and medical waste, dead animal and bulky waste, tree branches, uh, s- soiled waste, hospital waste such as clot soil with blood and other body fluid. So sources of waste. So what is mean by source of solid waste? So based on a place or location the waste being generated. So that is called source of solid waste. The first one is residential. So residential is nothing but the waste generated from the household things such as uh, vegetable peels and fruits etc. And industrial is nothing but the waste generated from the construction sites and power station and chemical plants. And so these are the example for the industrial waste. And commercial is nothing but the waste generated from hotel, restaurants and public buildings, so on. And so institutional waste, that are waste generated from the schools, colleges, prisons, the mainly paper and rubber waste, plastics, wood, paper, metals, etc. And the construction and demolition area. So what and all the waste generated from the demolition and the construction area, that is steel material, concrete, wood, copper wires and dirt, glasses. So municipal services, so the waste from the wastewater treatment plants and waste generated from the recreational areas and including sludge, and agriculture waste. So from the agriculture, we are going to get this polyfood and pesticides and agriculture waste, and the biomedical. So this refers to the from hospitals and biomedical equipment and chemical manufacturing. We are getting this biomedical waste. And some of the solid waste include syringes and bandages, gloves, drugs and paper, so on. So these are the things that is generated from the biomedical. So here is the diagrammatic explanation for the source of solid waste, that is from mining and agriculture, forestry, industry and household and commercial and government bodies, and construction and demolition. As you can see, the concrete, plastic, wood and metal. So these are the waste that are generated from the construction, demolition and wastewater treatment. Effects of poor solid waste management. The first one is litter surrounding. So due to improper waste disposal system, particularly by municipal waste, so it creates a lot of disturbance in the environment as well as between the community. The first, impact on human health. So improper disposal of waste that affects the health of the population living nearby the polluted area, and the health of waste disposal workers and other employee involved with this. And exposure of waste that handled improperly can cause skin irritation and respiratory problems and blood infections and growth problems, etc. So due to the improper waste disposal, these and all the things are created, and which mainly impacts on the human health. So disease causing pests. This type of dumping of waste materials such as biodegradable materials, when we decompose it, it produces some foul smell and it become a breeding ground, such as a more number of mosquitoes will be there, and it creates mainly impact on the human health, and a lot of diseases are coming soon. And coming to the environmental problems, solid waste from industries and the source of toxic materials and the hazardous waste and chemicals. So when we release to the environment, the solid waste causes biological and psychochemical problems to the environment that may affect to the human as well as the particular area, especially the soil. And soil and groundwater pollution, toxic material and chemicals, and it pollutes the soil and as well as the groundwater. During this process of collection of solid waste, hazardous waste usually mix with the water as well as the soil, and it creates a disturbance in the soil as well as the groundwater. Emission of toxic gases. So when we burn the waste such as non biodegradable things like plastic and radioactive material e-waste, so it releases this toxic gases such as sulfur and carbon monoxide, and these two gases are very dangerous, and it mainly impacts on a human health as well as land and aquatic animals too. So these gases are very dangerous, and it causes many deadly diseases, as well as it mainly impacts on the respiratory system. And impact on land and aquatic animals. Animals are also the greater risk in while poisoning the water and consuming the grasses near contaminated area. Methods of solid waste management. The first one is sanitary landfill. So this is the most popular solid waste disposal method used today, and we are continuing from the olden days also. And the modern landfills are designed in such a way that bottom of the landfills are covered with a thick layer, usually the several layers such as plastic and sand, and this liner protects the groundwater from being contaminated because of the leaching or proclination. When the landfill is full, it is covered with the layers of sand and clay and the topsoil. So, what is the advantages of landfill is, if the landfill are managed efficiently, it is ensured solid waste disposal methods. And the constraint, it requires a reasonably large area. So to follow this method, we require a larger area. So incineration is nothing but the burning of solid waste in a high temperature, and that converts the solid waste to the ashes. And this method that can be done by individual or municipalities and even in the institution. And the good thing about this method is it reduces the volume of waste up to 10 to 30% of the original value. And what is the advantages of this is it come the if the volume of the waste is more, it compresses down to the smaller thing. And what is the disadvantages of inclination is it causes a smoke, and it releases the toxic gases, so by burning the waste. And recovery and recycling. Recycling or recovery of resources is the process of taking a useful but discarded items for the next use. For example, plastic bags and glasses, tinners, and that can be recyclable. And the process aims at reducing the energy loss and the consumption of new material and reduction of landfills. And advantages is recycling is environment friendly, and disadvantages is it is quite expensive. What is mean by composting? So due to lack of adequate space for landfills, biodegradable hard waste is allowed to decompose in a medium designed for the purpose. And the advantages for this is composting is a environmental friendly as well as beneficial to the crops. So disadvantages, it require intensive management and experienced personnel for large scale operation. And another method is pyrolysis. So this method of solid waste management nearby, whereby solid waste are chemically decomposed by heat without presence of oxygen, and usually occurs under the pressure at the temperature up to 430 degrees Celsius. And the advantages is this keep the environment clean and reduces health and settlement problems. And there are some disadvantages, and these compounds are highly toxic in the parts per million, that is ppm. Identification of landfill sites. So here are some rules to construct the landfill sites. That is geology, land use, and distance from surface water, erosion, distance from fault zone, distance from cities, and distance from highways and slopes. So it is a diagrammatic explanation of the modern landfill. And thank you for watching. Please do like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.